How's our financial plan coming?
Super! Chris, any advice?
With Western and Southern, preparing for your financial future can be easier than you think. Favorite receiver?
Huh?
To get started, visit westernsouthern.com.
Looking at rookies to watch, specifically matchups to watch. Let's start, and this was an interesting one. Jamel Dean of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going against the Atlanta Falcons. Jamel Dean earned very high coverage grades in back-to-back games. In the first two games of his NFL career where he's played significant snaps. The game after, he doesn't play a single.
Oh wait, he 2 weeks ago against Seahawks.
Yep.
Terrible coverage grade.
Oh yeah,
he got toasted by DK Metcalf, and then he has the game of his life the next week against I'm forgetting the Panthers, was it? And he just absolutely, pick multiple pass breakups. And then this past week against the Saints, he
zero defensive snaps.
Didn't even play. They said they wanted to play more zone.
Yes.
Which would be great if you had corners that were good in zone that you were going to play over him and didn't get torched, for 34 points.
Mm-hmm. That was a head scratcher. I don't know how much zone they're trying to play against the Falcons, but there's a simple thing here. You got to put your best players on the field, especially at a position where you don't really have a ton of talent at the cornerback position. So again, Seattle, a 35.8 coverage grade. But what I'll say about that, he got roasted by DK Metcalf a handful of times. Still had 3 pass breakups.
Yeah.
Then he has a 95.6 coverage grade against the Arizona Cardinals. 1 interception, 2 pass breakups. They go on to take on the Saints in Week 11. Tampa Bay sits him on the bench. They wanted to play more zone, and he played zone on the sideline. That was very
Held it down. Dude,
Held it down, crushed it.
But it's like
0 targets, 0 pass.
They really have not had any cornerback have one good game all year, and the second they do, he gets benched.
Very interesting.
But so he'll play, hopefully.
Yeah,
against
hopefully
the
he'll play against the Falcons. You see some opportunity there.
I mean, if they had him track DK Metcalf, you're probably gonna have him track
Julio Jones.
Right? I mean,
unless they're playing zone, you never know. I mean, you'd think they were going to have him track Michael Thomas. Instead, he just toasted him en route to a W. So it's head-scratching decision-making over there. It's hard to kind of really understand what they're going to do. But if Jamel Dean does play against the Atlanta Falcons, I think he's well worth a watch in man or zone coverage. Let's go to a rookie-on-rookie matchup.
Yes.
A little 2-for-1 here. Ed Oliver of the Buffalo Bills, the defensive interior, former first-round pick of Houston, going against rookie guard Dalton Risner of the Denver Broncos, an older prospect, an older rookie, but who's played very well for Denver so far this year. I think this is a great opportunity for these two guys to kind of show off their skill set.
Yeah, so we highlighted Oliver last week, said he was going up against a favorable matchup in that Miami offensive line. He did all right, 4 pressures, 76.0 overall grade on defense. That's what, we got to beat the bad guys first. That's doing pretty well in that one, so he did well, but this is a little different animal. Dalton Risner's playing a lot better than those interior guys for Miami. He has a 74.3 pass blocking grade for the season, one of the better pass blocking grades at the guard position. Hasn't allowed a sack, only 11 pressures all season long. Holding his own basically as advertised. We thought he was NFL ready coming out of K-State. Has been NFL ready. So this one, I say advantage Risner, but we'll see. Left guard for the Denver Broncos.
I'll say this too. George and Eric, our 2 data scientists here at PFF, were really high on Risner.
Yes.
Really did like how he graded on a play-by-play standpoint.
I think that's going to be Throckmorton this year. A guy we kind of barely touched on the interior offensive line rings, but he's been high pass protecting grade for 3 years now for Oregon. I think they're similar prospects in terms of they might not physically, or the eye test, it might not look appealing. It might not be the most visually appealing. That's the word I'm looking for. They might be the most visually appealing players, but they get the job done consistently. I think that's Throckmorton. I think that was Risner coming out, and that's why he fell to the second round.
Going to this next matchup here, definitely a rookie to watch. Greg Speed Bump Little going against Marcus Davenport, which will be interesting because Greg Little this past week, why he got the nickname Speed Bump in there, Adrian Claiborne put the dude on skates and then some. Some of the worst
14 pressures.
Some of the 14 total pressures. We talked about it on the Tuesday podcast, but when you review that film too, how bad he lost, the pass sets were bad, the footwork was bad, everything was ugly. It was raw, it was ugly, and Adrian Claiborne was just feasting on him. And now you're going against Marcus Davenport, who I think is a similar player.
That's why
how he attacks Greg Little.
That's why I want to watch this, because Davenport Little just had no anchor. He was setting deep and setting right in his quarterback's lap. So Davenport, he wants to bull rush you every time, and he will if you're going to let him. Just hopefully Greg Little doesn't let him, because this could be double digits again.
Dude, and if it's not
especially
Marcus
against
Davenport,
Seattle,
it's Cameron Jordan.
It's even worse. Especially against New Orleans, where they're not going to be they're probably going to be playing down again. The Panthers are probably going to not have a lead, probably going to have to be throwing 50 times again. that could get ugly again.
Dude, absolutely. I mean, this is going to be a huge problem because, like I said, it's either Marcus Davenport, which he'll probably see the most of, but if the Saints try and get nasty and throw Cameron Jordan his way, things are not going to look good. And you already had Darrell Williams getting called fat by Tack McKinley. The offensive line is in shambles right now. Morale is low, and Greg Little's going into the room, and people are really asking him, we're thinking about moving you to center. Like, I mean, it's a bad look right now for Carolina. And Kyle Allen, I'll say this, he came out of the gate strong. The QB wins team were great, but he is grading very poorly right now.
Yes.
He's one of the lowest graded quarterbacks. He is the lowest graded quarterback from a clean pocket this year. Ooh. He's also struggling significantly.
I never bought
throws of 10+ yards.
Yeah, So I always am hesitant to crown a quarterback until they actually have to go win a game, until they actually have to throw 50 times and it's on their back to win a game. A lot of guys can succeed when you're protected, when you're running the ball well, and when you can check down to backs and they give it to you. But when you have to go win it yourself, which is what he's tried to have to do against the Packers last week, as well against the Falcons, when you have to go do that, that's when I actually will buy in. If you can go out and do that. Kyle Allen has not. Has fallen flat on his face in that.
Unfortunately, that's the story of Gardner Minshew's benching. Because when he had to go out there and beat that, I think it was the Texans, in the fourth quarter, he throws two picks and fumble. It was an absolute falling apart. But Gardner Minshew, I love the kid. I think he could rally back. But again, I think it's a good point you make. You have to judge a quarterback on how he can take over and win games late. And Kyle Allen struggling to do that. You saw all 4 of those interceptions he had this past week were awful. Poor decisions. Inaccurate. Yeah. It wasn't like a batted pass or the O.J. Howard behind the back flip up that Jameis Winston fell victim to. These were bad passes, bad decisions, inaccurate throws. Poor Kyle Allen, and poor speed bump Greg Little.
You want to get rid of me and get back to more great PFF YouTube content? All you have to do is push that button right there and subscribe. Thanks for watching.